Hello students, today we are going to introduce optics to you. So at elementary level we introduce a chapter name with light. Now we are introducing optics. Optics is two types: ray optics or geometrical optics, and wave optics or physical optics. In physical optics we understand the real nature of light, the way it spreads, the way it creates some phenomenon. Whereas in ray optics we deal with the reflection, refraction and rectilinear propagation, and a lot of problem solving is involved in ray optics than in physical optics. So ray optics, in which light is considered in form of a ray, and try to understand very important thing. Primary target of this chapter is you will have a ray. You'll have a ray. This ray go and fall on one plane mirror, may go and fall on a concave mirror, may go and fall on an aquarium which contain water, may go and fall on a convex mirror, may go and fall on a concave lens, may go and fall on something which is like this and is made up of glass. This is in air. It may go and fall on concave lens. It may go and fall on a glass slab like this. It may go and fall on a prism like this. Now combination this and this. It can go and fall on a lens which is polished like this. Combination of something else we can make out. So a plane surface and a mirror. So like this. Convex lens and this. Like that. So now what happens to this ray is a question. So our target in ray optics is this. Similarly, if at all you draw one more line, that's called principal axis kind of thing. This distance is called object distance. If you know object distance, what is the image distance? Once ray bends according to the phenomenon, it bends either due to reflection or refraction. What happens to the light ray you should be able to understand. Once you understand, you can calculate these things. So reflection and refraction involves angles. Angles are related to trigonometry. Trigonometry related to sides. So altogether, target of ray optics is they give you a ray and they give you an optical element that can be a plane mirror, convex mirror, concave lens, convex lens, curved surface, flat surface, polished lens, prism, glass slab or anything. After seeing that, you should be able to speculate what's going to happen. So you might have got little shiver, you might have afraid what to do. So many varieties are there, how to do it. So philosophically we put two questions only, that is, if at all light reflected, what happens? If at all light refracted, what happens? So some things we deal with light ray hitting and coming back. Some things we talk about light ray hitting and passing into the medium. So how many ever, many more are going to come. How many ever are there? We segregate into two parts. The phenomenon encountered by reflection are followed by reflection loss. The phenomenon encountered by refraction are followed by refraction loss. So reflection along with the geometry of that particular thing happening, refraction along with the geometry. That's why this chapter is not only called ray optics but also called geometry optics, geometrical optics. So you can have here, I forgot, you can have a sphere, glass sphere. What happens to the ray? So this kind of questions if you can answer, what happens to the light ray if it falls on any one of this, if you can tell, your target has been achieved. This is the MLG, minimum learning goal. If you are entering into the chapter, we expect you to, we give you a ray in form of a question and we expect you to tell what's happening to that ray. We give you object distance, we expect you to tell image distance. We give you object height, we expect you to tell image height. So these kind of things are going to be handled in this chapter. Hey students, when I interacted with top students and many other teachers and educational psychology kind of thing, I understood that first in our mind, if you can frame out the structure of what we are going to do, just I told you many times, I will be telling in my lectures, approach is important. So this chapter we have started with a target. A ray will be given. What happens to the ray is to be the answer. So that if you can make a structure of what you are going to study, how you are going to study, then properly you have folders kind of thing, and you are going to add something in one folder, something in other folder. At any time you want that, like in computer you keep at different folders, you can pull it out whichever is wanted. So there are 8 phenomena exhibited by light. We are not going to discuss now that one. First we are going to do only 2, reflection and refraction. Problem solving in ray optics, that is enough. Reflection and refraction. May not be correct, but loosely speaking it's okay. If a light is incident from a medium and comes back to the same medium, that's called reflection. If a light is incident on a medium, we expect it to go straight like this, it bends and goes. For that, this should be a transparent medium, this side should be a transparent medium, say air and water kind of thing. If light passes through, that's called refraction. If light comes back, then it's called reflection. This is not a proper way of defining the things, but loosely speaking it's okay. Reflection we do at 2 things. Reflection at plane surface, reflection at curved surface. Similarly, refraction also we do 2. Plane surface refraction, curved surface. Refraction at curved surface. Next, in this reflection at plane surface, we talk about laws of reflection. Anyway, law here itself we can do the laws of reflection applicable for both. Here we can do laws of refraction. 2 laws are there. Out of that, second law is very important, called Snell's law. I have to do 1 hour full lecture on that law. Then plane surface, plane mirror. Here we have curved surface. There are 2 types again. Spherical mirrors, non-spherical mirrors. Non-spherical mirrors again 2 types. Paraboloidal, elliptical. Suppose you have egg. Egg is ellipsoid shape. That if you cut and get a mirror, that's ellipsoidal. Parabola, in your car front part you'll have a mirror. That's the headlight will have a mirror. That's paraboloidal in shape. These are not in our syllabus because their geometry is more complicated. Ellipsoid geometry, paraboloid geometry, not parabola, paraboloid. Similarly, spherical mirrors 2 types. If you take a sphere, from that you cut a portion, that's called spherical mirror. Concave mirror, convex mirror. So we learn laws of reflection. We apply it to plane surface first, then we apply it to a curved surface. Out of that, some portion is anyhow deleted in the syllabus, even at IIT advanced level. Even spherical mirrors, we have 2 types, concave and convex. Regarding plane surface, we have 3 phenomena here. One is total internal reflection, where light goes from denser medium and comes back to denser medium. It don't undergo refraction. Next is real depth, apparent depth. That means if a fish sees a bird sees a fish, or we see a swimming pool, our eye is in air and object is inside water. That kind of things come under real depth and apparent depth. Actually, the swimming pool will be 8 feet, but it appears for us 6 feet. That all things will be dealt here. Next is glass slab. A glass bounded by 2 parallel surfaces, glass slab. Prism. A glass slab bounded by non-parallel surfaces. Curved surfaces is lens. Next, curved surfaces. In this we have refraction at curved surface, where you have one medium here, light can go from here to here, air to glass, or again the surface may be like this, air to glass, but it will not come out. Then through lenses, where it goes from air into glass, again it comes out of the glass, air to glass it comes out of. There are two types of lenses, convex, concave. Apart from that, you have multiple other types of lenses, plano-concave, plano-convex, equi-convex, non-equi-convex, concavo-convex, convexo-concave, everything will be dealt there. So lenses are being dealt there. Polished lenses, they behave as mirrors, that we will discuss. Concave mirror, convex mirror kind of thing, that we will discuss as part of syllabus there. So overall structure of the chapter is like this. Ray optics deals with light in form of rays. One ray will be given to us as a target, that you should be able to tell what's going to happen when they give an optical element. What is an optical element? Anything which reflects or refracts light, like a mirror, lens, spherical mirror, concave mirror, convex mirror, glass slab, prism. All these things are going to disturb your light ray in its straight line path and make them get inclined. So what kind of changes to that light ray is going to happen? We are going to discuss when it encounters an optical element. Dividing the philosophy, light comes back into the same medium of incidence, it is reflection, goes into the other medium, transparent medium, that is refraction. At plane surface, at curved surface, at plane surface, at curved surface. Spherical mirrors, non-spherical mirrors. Plane surface, you have some phenomenon. So now your mind should be very clear. What is our target? Where is the problem? Whichever comes, you should be able to segregate. A problem is given to glass slab. So glass slab means plane refraction at plane surface. That theory your mind has to recollect from your memory blocks. Similarly, if they give some question related to convex mirror, that is reflection at curved surface, related curved spherical surface, spherical mirror, that theory you should be able to pull out from the folder in your mind. Hey student, now we are narrowing down. We are going to reflection. What is reflection? When we have a mirror, instead of drawing like this, which is drawn in textbook, I have drawn like this so that you understand more better. There is a mirror and it is like this, and we put one point dot in that, and incident the laser beam light like this straight, then this light ray will go away like this. If you draw a normal like this is normal, need not be here. This is a normal perpendicular to the overall plane is called normal. So if this is a normal, this will be the incident ray, this will be the reflected ray, and this is the mirror, highly polished surface. What happens if it is not polished, like a book it is the non-polished surface? Then only you have partial reflection, you will not have 100% reflection. You want 100% reflection, then it should be a mirror. So it is generally shown in textbook like drawing a normal like this. They draw the incident ray, and this ray after hitting it will go like this. This is reflected ray, incident ray, reflected ray, and the normal. The first law says that three of them, the light coming like this cannot go like this. For example, there is a surface here and you put one pillar kind of thing, that is a normal. If incident at the bottom of the pillar, light will go into this plane. So incident ray and reflected ray and the normal will lie in the same plane. If you hit from here, it will go this side. But by hitting like this, you cannot make the light go this side, because they will not be in the plane in that case. First law says that incident ray, reflected ray, normal lie in same plane. Second law. The angle made by the incident ray with the normal is called angle of incidence. The angle made by reflected ray with the normal is called angle of refraction. Both are theta equal to theta you can take, but here they are pronounced like that. I equal to R. If this is 30 degrees, this is 30. If this is 60, then this will be 60. If this is 10, then that will be 10. You will not be happy if I draw all the things on the board, but I wanted to communicate that as you, and once you have a light ray like this and you incident straight like this, it will go back straight like this. This is called normal incidence. Incidence is happening along the normal. So angle of incidence and angle of reflection are equal. This is also 0, that is also 0. Similarly, if at all you have a surface like this is kind of thing is called grazing incidence. So I will be equal to R, that is the both are will be equal to 90 and 90. With respect to normal, this angle will be 90. With respect to normal, this angle will also be 90. But we can't say that reflection has happened. So we try to avoid that word called grazing incidence here. Normal incidence is okay. Light comes and goes straight. You take like this or like this or like this. As you increase the angle of incidence, angle of reflection also gets increased. That is the second law. First law is incident ray, reflected ray, normal lie in the same plane. Second law is angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. This is about reflection. When light is incident on a highly polished surface like mirror, it will come back into the medium of incidence. This phenomena exhibited by light is called reflection. If it is surface is not 100% polished, then there will be a partial reflection. Hey students, we are going to start problem related theory. Image formation due to a plane mirror. You have a plane mirror like this. We have a point object. So I draw a line like this. This is normal. So the incident ray gone like this, reflected ray come like this back. I told that is called normal incidence. If at all I make the ray go like this and I draw a normal here, then it will go like this. This is the incident ray. This is the reflected ray. The point where incident rays meet is called object. If they meet, they appear to meet. There are two things. If they meet, that's called real object. Now see, this is one reflected ray, it goes like this. This another reflected ray, it goes like this. This is incident ray, this is incident ray. This is reflected ray, this is reflected ray. This reflected ray are not going to meet. But if I extend backward, they are going to meet. So reflected rays actually not meeting, they are appearing to meet. That's called image, that is virtual image. If incident rays meet, real object. If incident rays appear to meet, virtual object. If reflected rays meet, real image. If reflected ray appear to meet, virtual image. So really if they happen, virtually if the extensions are meeting, that can happen. So now I hope this is clear to you. I remove this and I take exactly below this one more object. This distance, as you can see, this is a similar triangle. This angle is 90, this angle is 90, this angle and this angle are equal, this angle and this angle are equal. They are similar triangles. So this distance is object distance u, this distance is image distance v. From center if you measure right side, from center you are measuring left side. So v equal to minus u. This is a formula with which image distance can be calculated. This is not initial velocity, final velocity. We are not doing mechanics, we are doing optics. So in this is image distance, minus is opposite, this is object distance. So from center if you start measuring, one will be one side, other will be the other side. So using that formula anytime you can get it. By knowing object distance you can find image distance, by knowing image distance you can find object distance. Simple. By here, below here I take one more object, so I'll get one more image. I take one more object, one more object, one more object, one more object. Like that set of objects I take, set of images I get it. So if I extend this is an extended body, I'll get an extended image. Using the same principle. Whatever you have done here, same thing you can do it. So height of the image is equal to height of the object. Now no need to put plus minus sign, because this is also showing upward, this is also showing upward, both are erect. So image height is equal to object height. Image height is equal to object height. What else you can do now? Image distance, and now differentiate that. D by dt, rate of change of image distance is equal to minus of d by dt of u. So velocity of image with respect to mirror is equal to minus of velocity of object with respect to mirror. This is the formula. That means as you come nearer to the mirror, the image also, suppose this is a mirror here and you are going forward, then the image also, your image also comes forward. So this velocity and that velocity will be equal and opposite. Velocity of image with respect to mirror is equal to velocity of object with respect to mirror. concept of lateral inversions. If you have a mirror like this, if you write some word called ambulance, ambulance, then in the mirror other side you will see that you will see like that. This phenomena, right appearing to be left and left appearing to be right, is called as lateral inversion. So when you are seeing in the mirror, right hand appears to be a left hand appears to be right hand. Why? Because the ray go like this and comes this side, and the ray goes like this and comes this side. So this ray appearing to come from that side, that ray appearing to come from this side. That's why lateral inversion takes place. The same procedure and rule you can apply and see that. So these are the elementary things regarding image formation due to plane mirror. What happens if mirrors are inclined, if mirrors are parallel? That all things come under problems. This comes under basic. So once we have done the basic problems separately, we will do it. What else we can do here? Yeah. Sometimes they ask you to find angle of deviation. So this is incident ray. This is angle of incidence. This is the reflected ray. You can write this as R or you can write it as I. Both values are equal. So if you extend this ray, this is the actual path, expected path. This is the reflected ray. So this is called deviation. And that deviation, if you see this is a straight line. Out of this part is removed. 2i is removed. So out of total 180 angle, if you remove this 2i, you will get dou. So deviation is equal to 180 degrees minus 2 times of angle of incidence. Using this formula, you can find deviation. But remember that whether deviation is happening clockwise or anti-clockwise, you have to mention. Here it is anti-clockwise. Outside you have to show that sign. Deviation magnitude, you get this formula by this formula. Deviation direction is to be followed by that. If you have one more reflection here, again, what is the deviation mean? Same formula, 180 minus 2i. With that you can, if you know the angle of incidence, angle of reflection, both are equal. Don't write I and R, both are I and I. Say this is that, for example, this angle is 30, this is also 30. 30 plus 30 is 60. 180 minus 60 is 120. So this deviation is 120. This we can find out even in this.